Olympians. Welcome to part 6 of our mini-series, New Faces of UAS. I'm your host, Chaeyoung.
And I'm Ali Al-Ali. Joining us today is Terri Landherr, who teaches middle school science. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So we've prepared 5 questions, as you already know, and it's all about getting to know who you are. So without further ado, let's get into it.
For starters, what has attracted you to the UAE and specifically UAS?
Well, I almost feel like UAS picked me rather than me picking UAS. When I was looking for a job, I was looking for a job, but a place to bring my family as well. I have a daughter who's in 6th grade now at UAS, and my husband is also with me. So I was looking for a job that, as a science teacher, but I also wanted a school that would be good for my daughter and a place that would be good for my husband. And UAS and the UAE fit that bill.
So
No worries.
our next question is, what do you aim to accomplish while working at UAS?
Well, my goal as a teacher is to take students and to prepare them for the next level. And so I'm kind of a bridge between the elementary and the high school, where I take skills that you learned in elementary, we develop them and prepare you to take that next step into high school.
So did you maintain the same goal throughout your teaching experience?
I have been a middle school teacher for a very long time. So I pretty much have always been in the middle and trying to prepare students for the next step, yes.
Well, talking about how you teach, what are your biggest strengths and weaknesses as a teacher?
I think my biggest strength as a teacher is just, well, I come with a lot of experience, so there's always that. But also just caring about students, wanting them to be successful, wanting them to be at their best, meeting them wherever they are and trying to improve them. So that would be my strength. My weakness, I'm still trying to find that balance between how much time I spend doing work and how much time I spend with my personal life. And, I could spend every waking minute with my teacher hat on, planning and grading and doing all of those things, but that's not a happy life. So trying to find the balance is where I'm having my weakness right now.
So within your work experiences, you met different teachers and students. So how would they describe you and how would you describe yourself?
How would they describe me? They would describe me as generally pretty organized, that I work hard, that I do what I need to do for the students to, and I think that's what they'd say. I'm caring.
What do you think are now today's biggest challenges when it comes to teaching? And can you relate to them?
I've seen a lot of changes in my years of teaching, and I think the biggest changes have happened since smartphones and being on the computer all the time. Those are some major changes from early in my teaching career, and I find that students really struggle themselves finding the balance between how connected do they need to be on their phones all the time when their friends are pinging them and they just want to be left alone, and how to focus on their schoolwork at the same time. And always having that digital device in front of them that it's easy to go off into other distractions when you should be trying to focus. So I think that's the biggest challenge that I've seen.
Yeah, true. I sometimes I get too carried away with things like that. Stay on the
You're not the only one.
So our last question is, what are your interests and how do you relax?
My interests, I love to bake, particularly chocolate chip cookies, my favorite. And I spend a lot of time reading. So that is one of my favorite ways to relax, is just with a good book.
What's one book that you would recommend to us?
I really liked the whole Divergent series. just as something, you know, that was just kind of cool. And of course, I enjoyed the movies along with that. So that was good.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I think that's it for today. We've reached all of our questions. Thank you, Ms. Landherr, for joining us today.
Well, thank you
you.
for having me today.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of